Okay. So, okay. All right. So, hi. I'd like to welcome you back to Talking with Tangi. It has been a while. I know it's been a while. I know. But if you remember, I was retiring and a lot of stuff has been going on, y'all. I mean, so much stuff has been going on in my life. And I just don't have time to talk about it. But just know that I've missed y'all. I thought about y'all. And it's just been so much stuff going on. And tonight, I kind of want to talk about, these friends. And, I was driving home today from a dentist appointment. And, I got kind of sad. And I was like, I don't really have a whole lot of friends. And I have a lot of associates, but I don't have a lot of friends. And I realized that may be because I don't trust a whole lot of people. Now, in my defense, it's not all me. Okay? I've been betrayed by so many people, and that it's like, okay, I'm always looking. Like I already expect them to do something. Me, and I won't stop doing this just because, a few bad apples spoil the whole bunch, even though right now it looks like the whole daggone crate is rotten. But I won't stop, doing that. I am an open book. So basically, when you meet me, what you see is what you get. One of the biggest compliments that I've ever received in my life is, I was stationed with someone when I was young, very, very young. And I end up seeing them, like, I saw them maybe 10, 15 years later. We were in the mall. And they heard me talk, and it was like, wait a minute, is that Tangi? And we just happened to be like in the same place in a city. We hadn't planned it or anything. And I was talking, I was laughing, and anybody knows me knows I like to laugh and joke. I'm a jokester. So, and she said, "You haven't changed a bit." And to me, that was the biggest compliment. Somebody else might have thought it was an insult to say, hey, you're still the child. You're still very childish. You still play too doggone much. But for me, that was a compliment for me because you're right. I haven't changed. And I'm probably at this age, I'm probably not going to change. Okay. What you see is what you get. So I say that to say, if you claim that you like me and you love yourself some Tangi, okay? If you claim that you love yourself some Tangi today, or you claim that you loved yourself some Tangi last year or the year before last, or blah, blah, but you don't like Tangi on this day or tomorrow, then baby, you change. Because Tangi didn't change. Tangi has been the same person, okay? I didn't change. So you changed, or maybe you didn't like me as much as you thought you did, and you expected me to change, or whatever the case is. I've noticed a lot too. Another reason why, like I said, I'm an open book, but the reason why I don't let a lot of people get close to me is because, I'm trying to see how I want to say this, but when you have favor in your life, and you're really, really blessed, and people around you, you start letting people get close to you, and they see that you have this favor, and they're trying to figure out how are you doing what you're doing, because all the odds are stacked against you. So with all the odds stacked against you, how are you still succeeding? If you say, hey, I don't have a job, I don't have this, but you're still doing things. When emergencies come up, you're still able to handle them. You're not begging anybody for anything. People start getting a little bit envious. They start to say, why me? Or why I can't do this? Or they start trying to do what you're doing. But then when they start trying to do what you're doing, it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. They fail at doing it. And then they become envious of you. Oh, I've dealt with that so many times, y'all. So to combat that, I just don't let people get close to me. If you don't know what I'm doing, then you can't be jealous. Well, they can be, but then we call those haters. But you can't be envious. Because it might, people get envious. They look at people and say, hey, you got it going on, you got it all together, which is not necessarily true. But, people think what they think, and people's going to think what they want to think. So it's kind of like, hey, I'll stay over here. Like I said, I'll let you know a little bit. But when you start letting people know everything that you got going on, and you start letting them know this and know this and know that, when they get ready to plot against you, trust me and believe me, things against you, they're going to use the exact same thing against you. They're going to use some of the stuff that you said. You're going to start hearing that stuff over. You know what I'm saying? You're going to start hearing things that that you told this person. Or you're going to notice that they're going to start treating you a little bit different. Because in their minds, and now you telling them, you know what? I get anxious when I think about this. Or this right here makes me depressed. Or, my kids are acting up. Or, my husband's acting up. Or I'm beefing with my mom. I'm beefing with my sister. So before, they thought that your life was perfect. Okay? And they didn't know how to get to you. But then when you start letting them in and letting them know, hey, I got an issue with this, I got an issue with that, then they start trying to treat you different. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, she ain't got it going on. And they start trying to use the things that you confided in them against you. They start trying to use it against you. So I noticed that when you treat people distant, they're going almost downright rude. Oh my God, they love you to death. They love you to death because they can't get near you. As long as they can't get near you, oh my God, they will kiss your butt as long as you keeping them distance. But when you start being nice to them, too nice, when you start being too nice, but that's when they start. Okay, I know this. I know they weakness right here, or I know they weakness right here, and I'm gonna talk to them any kind of way. I can say to them what I want to say. See, no, you can't. Not with me, because I've learned this. I was thinking about that, and I said, you know what? All the things that I've been through in my life is preparing me. Like, I already been through it. Even the Bible say there's nothing new under the sun. And in my life, there's really nothing new. Like, I already been through that. So when I see it coming, it's like, okay, I already see where this going to go at. I'm already making moves. I'm a step ahead of you because I already seen it. You can't fool me. It might be your first time doing it, but it ain't my first rodeo. So I'm just saying, y'all, you have to be careful. You have to be careful. And, they always say that the betrayal, the reason why betrayal hurts and the reason why betrayal stings so much is because betrayal does not come from your enemy. The person who you don't like and don't like you. That person don't like you. You don't like that person. That person cannot betray you because you ain't going to let that person know anything. Look up the definition of betrayal. Betrayal comes from somebody close to you. Someone who you love and adore. And someone who you felt the same way about you. That's what betrayal comes from. That's why it hurts so much. So you have to guard your heart. Even the Bible says at all costs, guard your heart because that's where your life flows at. So when you let people get in there and they get in your heart and they betray you and they hurt you, then you start being depressed. Then you start being, anxious. Then you start, going down this rabbit hole, this downward slope. So you got to guard your heart. And I know it's a lot of people, even in my circle, they just have big hearts. They just got big hearts. And you have to guard it because people act real well. They can act. Especially if they think you got something and they can get. And not that they trying to glean off of you. Because, it's okay to let somebody glean off of what you're doing. That's okay. But they're not trying to glean off of you. They're trying to take what you've done. They're trying to take something that you've worked for. And when they can't get it, it turns. I'm telling you, it turns. Or even if they do get it, but they can't work it like you. Because what God has for you is for you. It's not for nobody else. If it was for them, they would have did it. Okay? So you just have to be careful. You have to be careful. You have to be mindful. And it's hard because it's like we're living in a day and time where you can't trust nobody. And that's hard. It's like, man, who can I trust? Can I trust my sister? Can I trust my brother? Can I trust my mom? Can I trust my auntie? Like, you can't really trust nobody. And that's a hard way. That's hard. So it's like when, it reminds me of that little scene from The Color Purple. Y'all seen The Color Purple? If you haven't seen The Color Purple, you need to see The Color Purple, okay? That's one movie you have to watch in your lifetime. But it reminds me of a scene from The Color Purple when they say, you better not tell nobody but God. Because that's how I feel almost about everything. Like, I want to talk. I want to vent to this person. I want to vent. But no, I can't vent. Because if I vent to someone, then my words might be misconstrued. Or they might hold that secret or hold, that secret until they get mad at me. Or until they can't get something that they want. Or until they get envious of me. Or until they get jealous of me. Or who knows? So it's like, again, you better not tell nobody but God. You better not tell nobody else if you don't want to hear it again. But see, me, Tangie, don't really care. It takes a lot to embarrass me. I do not get embarrassed easily. But some people do. Some people do. I don't care. It goes, whatever. Okay, you thought, okay, who cares? I don't get embarrassed either. I move on. Like I said, I move on from it. Like, you think you're going to embarrass me, you're going to end up embarrassing yourself trying to embarrass me. So that's not going to work. Let me know how that work out for you. But some people do. And if you know that you're one of those people, you just got to guard your heart. You got to guard your heart, man. You got to. If you know you're one of those people that if somebody tell you their problems, you collect those, you pick that up and you make it a problem for yourself, then you got to guard your heart. You like, you know what? I can't even hear this. Because if you hear it, you just going to empathize so much and you just going to make it your issue when it's not your issue. Then, you just got to let it go. And I used to be like that. Until May the 30th, 2017. What was May the 30th? That was my last day in the Army. And I said, once I retired from that man's army, that nothing and nobody, and I meant that, nothing and nobody would ever stress me out again. That if it didn't concern me, that it didn't concern me. Or if I was doing something and it didn't serve me, it didn't serve a higher purpose, and I wasn't vibrating on a higher level, then I wasn't doing it. If it made me sad, if it made me anxious, if it made me depressed, if I had to think twice about it, I wasn't doing it. There's an old saying that we used to say in the Army. We used to tell soldiers when they did the wrong thing, we'd say, hey, if you got to think about it twice, then it's probably not right. If you got to think about it twice, then it's probably not the right thing to do. So my thing is, if I got to think about it twice, then I'm not doing it. And I'm not making any apologies for it either. I'm not going to make any apologies for it. And it took me 21 years, probably longer than that, but I'm talking about my adult years, to get to that point. So I urge you to get to that point today. Get to that point today. No is a complete sentence. You do what's best for you. And keep your business to yourself. Okay? Most importantly, keep your business to yourself and stay vigilant. Always remember, self-preservation. Self-preservation, y'all. You got to preserve yourself. You got to. You can't depend on nobody else to make sure that you're okay. You got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and that everything is okay. You just can't. You just can't. You just can't. And I wish y'all the best. And I will talk to y'all next week. Leave the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Comment. I want to know what you got to say. Hey, say what you got to say. You can disagree. You can agree. Whatever. Just give me some feedback. And I will talk to y'all later, okay? All right. Y'all take care. Good night.